Back in the game with Brother Escrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm in a jovial mood, but I want to start with a little bit of seriousness, if that's okay. It's going to be just me and you tonight because I wanted us to really have some time to go into this, and I want to tell you a couple of things. One thing I want to tell you is that I'm really honored and flattered that I became someone that you could say, hey, I have some important questions about direction, and I want to talk to you about them. And I appreciate that,
Right.
and that's not something I take lightly.
Right.
And second, no one here, nor in the comments, and if it did happen, they're going to get cut, will ever speak poorly of you or make fun of any of the questions about life or direction that you have. But I don't have that kind of audience. You know who I am. You know how we get down over here. It's not that kind of a party. Glad to see the field general, BK from the Rockies, dear friend and supporter, is already telling everybody to make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate that.
Sure. Shout out to BK.
And we got a request. She says she wants to see me brush the beard before we get started again.
nice.
Hey, I miss you. Have you seen any of the chats that she's been on with us? She hasn't been on a little while. She's been busy, but do you remember any of hers?
Not. I mean, the videos I was watching of you earlier. I've seen her in the chats or whatever. Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, she has. She has a great channel of her own.
Okay.
Might I add. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and say I want everybody to, to go ahead and check her channel out. Let me give you guys the link and a quick shout out to her because she's always here supporting the team. There you go. Look at that. Her channel is cool and refreshing. It's not like the aggression pit that we're here now. So for everybody that wants to check out Reigning Woman, definitely go check out her channel.
Shout out to Reigning Woman.
So let me see something real quick. John Wayne said, "What's up?" Brother Charles said, "It ain't right until the beard is tight." Yeah. We had a brief conversation the other day, and I said, let's do this. I want you to do a few things, and I want you to kind of structure your thoughts. And then I also said, I wanted you to talk to me about this because there may be other people out there who have the same, well, there are people out there who have the same things that you're going through and dealing with. And do you remember the first thing I asked you to do? When I said, okay, we're going to really get started on this, getting some direction. What was the first thing I asked you?
You told me to write what I had, write all the questions, all the concerns I have down, write them down.
Yeah. Not just that, I also said, I want you to sketch out your day.
Yeah. You did say that. Sketch out my day, sketch out the basically what I do, write them down, every detail, like precisely of what I do every day.
Let's do this just to give some people some background. Tell them, your name. Tell them what you've been doing for the past couple of years. Give them an outline of who you are.
Okay, so my first name is Escrovan, but I go by Escrow for short. But my name is Escrovan Tisdale Anderson. That's my whole name. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, but now I reside in Houston, Texas. Just a couple months ago, I just transitioned out the military. So now I'm just working out of Houston right now. And, with this whole pandemic that's going on, it's how you say it? I'm having to work a little bit, but not as much as I would if, everything was back to normal. But right now I'm in Houston, trying to decide really what I want to do out of life, so that's a little bit about me.
Well, let's get a few questions out of the way that kind of point us in the right direction, north, south, east, west. You were in the military. What kind of discharge did you get?
Oh, honorable. Honorable
Perfect.
Discharge.
Great. How old are you right now?
25 years old.
25. What was I doing at 25? Most of what I was doing at 25 would be inappropriate to discuss. Because when I was 25, we didn't have this whole social media thing, so I
Right.
can't really go. It's not me that I'm worried about. I just can't implicate other people
Right.
with some of those memories. But 25, I think I finished one university degree. Now, does the military provide you with any school money? And have you
Yes.
spent any
So
of it?
okay, no. So they set you up like if you do so many years, uh, like okay, for me, I only did with the minimum, which is like 3.5, almost 4 years. So if I'm not mistaken, I only get probably like not a little more than 3 years of schooling paid for. But if I would have did the whole, 20 years, I would have got the full benefit. And then my children, if I had children, they would have got benefits to school.
So you don't have any
So
children right now.
no, I do not have any children.
Okay, so I think I need to say something again. You're 25. You've got some money coming in to support you with an education. You got an honorable discharge in the military with no children. You've already won the game. The only thing that can happen now is you screw it up. You've already won.
Right.
I want to be clear. I've traveled across 15 countries and 5 continents. I can tell you, you have the recipe. You just got to put it together. Because at 25, you can literally do anything right now. But that's the scary part.
Right.
So the first thing I want to say is that there are a lot of people who talk about how school isn't necessary and blah, blah. Fuck that. I have learned very clearly that having at least one university degree opens doors for you that people without any education don't even know are there.
Okay.
Let me say that again. People who don't have at least one university degree or college degree don't know that those degrees open doors for you because those doors are invisible. So, look at this. Reigning Woman said, I have quite a network we can connect and I'm open a meeting for tea or something. Oh my goodness, she's in your town.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
she's former military as well. I believe she specialized in shooting people in the face.
She was
I'm not
11
sure.
Bravo infantry.
And see, here's the thing. This is why I brought you here, because you've already got somebody who is going to reach out to you. So you've got military, you've got somebody who is in the Houston area. You have somebody with some life and world experience. This is why you're here. These are the kind of people that I'm so proud of everybody watching right now, because this is what I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Kim
And to answer Reigning Woman's question, that's perfectly fine. I'm open to meet people and network and stuff like that. That's why we get on these platforms and dialogue. It's to open doors. So I'm very open minded.
Yeah. Now you might have to do a virtual tea, and if I don't know what kind of situation
Right.
you're sitting in.
Right.
Let me ask you this. We spoke. Matter of fact, you got a message in Portuguese that we're not even going to talk about yet. That's going to be something we'll talk about in person. But we connected because not only are you learning the piano, but you're also learning Portuguese, right?
Right. Correct.
Why are you learning Portuguese?
So this year, just to clarify, so this year, beginning of January, around January, I told myself, I want to learn a new language. And so basically I told myself, I want to learn a new language. I'm not going to make any excuses. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just buckle down and do it. So Portuguese was either Spanish or Portuguese. Portuguese because I've always wanted to go to Brazil, and a little bit of like backstory on Brazil. A lot of people go to Brazil for different reasons, but I actually wanted to go. I'm 25. I actually wanted to go when I was 17 because I played a video game that was set in Brazil, and it just made me fall in love with the culture of Brazil,
Nice.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just like I want to go to Brazil. I was like, you know what? But I found out later in life that I needed to speak Portuguese because not a lot of Brazilians speak English. So in order to
they don't.
right, in order to go there and dialogue, communicate with the people, enjoy the culture, I needed to speak the language. So I told myself this year, you know what, this is it. You know, I can feel it. I can sense it. Like I'm gonna learn Portuguese this year, and that's when that's why I decided to learn Portuguese.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, we're both using the Pimsleur method, right?
Right. Correct.
So, because here I'll show you guys. I did a video called "Live in Brazil." It was a live in Brazil, hustling Portuguese backwards, and that was my. That's one of my videos. I put it in the chat right there. 25 minutes on learning Portuguese, but it's really something you can talk about learning language with, and how I'm really a big fan of the Pimsleur method. You know, because it really helps you to learn how to speak quickly and well, meaning within 3 months of 30 minutes a day, which is a lie. You should do the same lessons twice an hour a day for 3 months. For 3 months, you can have a basic coffee level conversation, meaning we could go out and have coffee and talk about, you know, the simple things in life. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud to hear that you realize, wait a minute, I'm not going to let the fact that I don't speak this language stop me from getting out into seeing this other country. I'm just going to have to learn the language and see how they get down.
Exactly. And I want to clarify, like it's not just Brazil Portuguese. I want to learn. It's other like how you've been to China, you've been to Australia, you've been to all these different places, and how you call it. It's the beauty in learning a language and about a culture. So I want to be fluent in other languages as well, kind of like a polyglot, you know. So
wow, you know what? I got some polyglot friends I'm going to introduce you to. Yeah, you're on the road. You know, I want to address something early. There's a guy, Prince Diamond. Thank you for showing up, by the way. And I want you to make sure you like and subscribe. But I want to say something real quick. You said learn Portuguese for the women. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that. And it may not necessarily be for the reason that people think. Here's what I've learned in life, right? A man who is physically competent, meaning you don't have to be a professional fighter or a yoga master or, for me, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, player. A man who is financially stable, meaning you don't have to be rich. You can just be a man who has saved 20% of his income consistently and has 6 months saving put together. You don't have to be a man who's a genius. You can just be a man who learned how to do something on his own to show that he can think for himself. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's a YouTube channel where you talk about philosophy. Those things mean you'll never have a problem with women anywhere. And if you do learn something extra, it won't be for women because you'll be one of those men who can say, I can have women in China, I can have women in America, I can have women in Brazil because I can just have women because I'm one of those quality men. And on a very, how do my Brazilian friends say it, machista, sexist note, I look at women and choice among women as the benefit of leading a quality life as a man. Women are a great addendum. Women are a great bonus for doing all the other stuff right, because they're the one thing you don't have to worry about. If you're, what is it that's saying? Many men have gone broke chasing women, but no man has ever ran out of women while chasing success. It just doesn't happen. You can chase women and lose everything. You chase success, everything else just comes to you. Yeah. Everything else just comes to you.
Right. So and to piggyback off of that,
you my first thing, and I'm always going to drill the education part first, because I know you got some questions for me, but I want to hit this first. Right now, most universities have converted, realizing we've got to do everything online. Have you ever considered Latin American studies, Brazilian culture studies, online, boom, online, right? In a situation where you could say, you know what? I want you to set me up with a place to live, help me find, because for the people who don't know, you know what I do, right? You know my
right.
For the people who don't know, for the people who don't know, I'm going to give you my LinkedIn so people can add me. My LinkedIn. For the people who don't know, a good chunk of what I do right now is expat relocation services. People who decided I need a company that can show me how to legally go to Brazil for 3 months, 6 months, or a lifetime if I want to, because it's all a process. And let me find there it is. I deal with CPF numbers, which is a Brazilian social security number, documents, health. I mean, all that stuff. Everything from getting your teeth treated to medical stuff to just coming to Brazil. And that's what I do. And I'm more than happy to have my company do that for you. My company is filled with bilingual people who are Brazilians who speak English, and they help people with that. Have you ever considered that? Is that an option for you? Is it an option for you to say, you know what, maybe studying something like Latin American studies in Brazil online, where you can find a skill online to support you, which I tell people all the time, if you can make 300 US online a week, you can live an extraordinarily well-adjusted life here.
Right. I will say that that hasn't really crossed my mind living out there, because of the fact, like, you know, I work out here, you know, I'm comfortable here. So my thing was just more of like visiting and,
okay.
Yeah. So, but that, like, to answer your question, it never really crossed my mind to actually like move there and like study Latin American studies, you know, or Portuguese culture or whatever. That never really crossed my mind.
Now we got to be careful. Portuguese is the language, Brazil is the people. But here's the thing, right? I'm not telling you to make that decision right now. My job is to tell you, I want you to write that down, and that's something that we can look at and say, maybe. Because what my job is to give you a bunch of options, just a bunch of options. I just want you to be able to say, wow, I had no idea I could bend in all these different directions. Because the good part is, if you've got 3.5 or even 3 years of school being paid for, you can stretch that into 4 or 5 years doing classes online on something that you find interesting. So that's my big push. I just want you to realize that within the next year, meaning the beginning of whatever semester comes after January, I want us, or more importantly, you, to have figured out this is what I'm going to go to school for. Because you want to be finished with a 4-year degree before you're 30. That's when it really starts to matter. When you can get a degree done before 30, you squeeze more juice out of the lemon, because an education works at any age. But the earlier you get it done, the more you can get out of it. Does that make sense?
Right.
You used a word earlier that I want to tell you I'm very uncomfortable with. You said, I'm comfortable here. I never want you to be comfortable. Comfortable shouldn't be something you even consider as an option until you're in your 40s. Everything you do should be this is going to be kind of hard. This is a little difficult. Good. Learning a second language, difficult.
Very
Traveling
difficult.
to another country, difficult. And there's the video, Brazil's cost of living expenses, and I put that on the screen for everybody. I broke down what it costs for me to live here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I was actually watching that video before this whole live. I was watching the video you was doing with Ed Lattimore, and I was talking about basically the cost of living in Brazil, because I think he was in Portugal at the time. I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah.
But y'all were talking, and you showed a list of how, like, you gave a breakdown, like Wi-Fi and electricity, and then how much you pay on like vegetables and meat and stuff like that. So yeah, I was looking at that, and I was like, I think it came a little bit over 300 US dollars. I forgot the exact amount.
Okay, let's say 350 a week. You know?
Yeah.
There are so many ways to make a lot more than that per month on the computer, or even coming out here and doing something fundamental. Like, if your school is paid for and all you're worried about is eating, I wouldn't want you to work for me teaching English forever. I would want you to start your own. That's one thing that a lot of people do, because if you're a native English speaker with correct training, you can definitely do that. Now, look at what Prince Diamond said. 300 a week times 4 weeks is 1,200 a month. In Houston, Texas, what will that get you? Could you live off that? Could you eat, pay the rent, and everything else?
I mean, where I'm staying, I could, but I would need a little bit over 2,000 a month. A little bit. Like, yeah, I would.
You'll be on a poverty diet, and would you be in a good neighborhood?
Not really.
Yeah, see, out here, that right there, I'm pretty good.
Right.
Because remember, it's not how much you remember my career as a financial professional. It's not how much you make, it's how much you save. I'm able to save a larger percentage of my income here than anywhere else.
Right. And I know a lot of people who make a lot of money, but they live in paycheck to paycheck, you know, and that's it. Like you said, it goes to show like how much you're willing to save, you know. Because I know a lot of people, man, a lot of people, their money just flow through like water. It just flows through their hands, you know.
So let's do this. I know
Right.
you wrote some things down for me, but my last question I'm going to ask you. No, let's do it this way. Start hitting me with the hard ones. Give it to me.
Okay.
Oh,
He
wait.
said he gave it to.
Your sister Tanai said in Houston that gets you very little.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so my question is, because I got like I'll just go in order. Um, how would I adjust to living in Brazil, being so far away from home? Like a lot of people get homesick. It's kind of hard to adjust because you're so far away from family. How would I go? How would I consider adjusting in the Brazilian environment if I lived
The
out
first
there?
thing I'll tell you is you got a cell phone with an application called WhatsApp.
All right.
That means you can video call everybody you care about every day if you want to, or just regular phone call them.
Hmm.
Oh, hold
Okay.
on. Brother Charles says, I was comfortable in Houston too, and it wasn't until I started traveling that I didn't realize how many people watching this were from Texas. Gee.
Yeah, yeah. And to piggyback off what he said, I have traveled abroad and stuff like that, and I realized like going to those countries, you do get a sense of like, ah man, it's so much bigger than what I'm used to. You know, it's so much diversity, so much culture than what you think that where I'm from, where I live, is that's just it. You know, but
Yeah.
that's I just had to put the input in.
Yeah.
But so you saying basically adjusting would be like calling family members, video chatting with them,
Yes.
texting them.
Or it might mean every 3 months or 6 months, you just fly back.
Right.
That's what it might mean.
Okay.
But it's not like the old days where when somebody went off, all you got was a letter in the mail, if that every now and then, if the mail didn't give out. Now, I have friends that we have to ask when was the last time we saw each other because we call every day.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
And
Tanai hitting the home run. Read what she just said.
find your social group tribe as an expat also helps eases the homesickness. You're correct. That was going to be my next. I'm glad she brought that up because I was going to say basically like the friends you have around you. You know, like maybe it could be expats, maybe it could be people that could take you in they home. You know, like friendly people, like show you how to live or show you their family, show you their like get-togethers and everything. So that was gonna be my next thing too.
Well, here's what's going to happen. Right now, you're looking at it as how will I adjust to this new place? What I'm telling you is that when you get here, when you get to your new wherever it is, you're going to find if you're doing it the right way, and if I have anything to do with it, you're not going to have time to just go to work and then just sit home and, I don't know, cry in your oatmeal, because you have to live the city. You have to go out and see the things that it has to offer. You've got to practice your language. You've got to know what it's like to go out and say, hey, I need to figure out how to go shopping. Like, how did I learn numbers? By going to the market and accidentally ordering 240 bananas. And the dude looked at me. He was
Wow.
like, that's not okay. Let me do this because I want to make sure, I want to show everybody how much I appreciate dear sister Tanai, because she and her family, I should say, they have an amazing story. Okay, they have this amazing story of a giant blended family When I say giant, I mean it's big. I want everybody to subscribe to her channel. I want everybody to hear her stories. See all those people in this picture up at the top? Yeah, that's her and her husband and what looks like to be a battalion of children. And I want everybody, I mean, she's at 644. We got to get over 1,000 because what I want is for her to have some of the other YouTube options open her. So can you guys please go subscribe to her? You know, I tell everybody the same thing. Subscribe for a month to somebody like her. If you like what she does, stay. If you don't, that's okay. Give her a chance. Okay. So going back to how will you adjust? You're going to adjust by not always thinking back towards home. You're going to adjust by getting to know your new home. That makes sense? You're going to adjust by getting to know how your new home is going to affect you. What your how would I put it? What your new reality is. Just that simple. What is your new reality? Let's see. We got Prince Diamond said, get a Brazilian girlfriend. Get a Brazilian girlfriend. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You know, have a Brazilian girlfriend. Take them all out for dinner. Have several and take them all out for dinner. You know, you have to find out what you want and then do it. And that brings me to something else. And this might be a little bit of a downer. There are going to be people that you know that find out you're learning the piano, which they'll accept, and you're learning Portuguese, and they'll say, maybe he wants a Brazilian girlfriend. Then they're going to find out, wait a minute, you're doing research to live abroad. Not go abroad with the military, but live abroad. They're going to find out that you're talking about going and doing classes online with your military college benefits before that runs out and you get too old. And they're going to say that's great until you start doing it. And this is a different conversation, but there are going to be people in your life that are going to try to stop you. And whenever that happens, call me. It's going to happen. You'll know you're doing it right when they look at you and say, there's something he's doing that's kind of he smells kind of different these days. Hey, Charles, thank you for showing up. Ooh, tonight said something interesting. Remember, planes go both ways. We often forget that just because we're the ones that left home, that other people can't come and see us.
And that'll show you who your true friends are too. True, you know, people that really care about you if they come out there to come see you, you know?
Yep.
So I agree. I agree with it.
Yep. I mean, it's an awkward thing to make people realize, hey, maybe you got to come out here. Maybe it's a good time for you to come and visit me.
I was going to say, going back to what you said about, you know, people kind of like the people that try to disencourage me to go or not encourage, like it's I don't know. It's kind of like I already have that in my life right now because of the places I've been. I've been places like alone, solo, that people be like, oh, like, why you go over there, especially by yourself? It shouldn't be like that. So I already have those people now. So just imagine when I do make a big move to go abroad or live abroad, to live abroad, I already know it's going to be people that'll tell me, oh, you're crazy, you're insane, because they can't see past the spectrum of where they stay or where they live. So I'll definitely, when that occur, I'll definitely, hey, I don't care what time of day it is, I'm calling, you know, because
Yeah,
I already know it's going to be those people that try to disencourage me to leave the country or live abroad, basically.
exactly. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't. You can't let that happen.
Right.
You can't. You just can't.
So
I'm sorry.
my next question would be like, on average, what do I need to make per month while living in Brazil or
Oh, I
living
think
in
we went
yeah.
over that earlier. It was about
Oh yeah,
1,200
you're right.
to make you
Yeah,
comfortable.
1,200. Okay.
Yeah.
I wrote it down before, so um okay.
Read what Raymond
What
Woman said.
huh? Oh,
Read what Raymond
people will
Woman said.
always try to people will always try to stop you. Their efforts to stop you are not as significant as your persistence to continue. I agree. I definitely agree. Um, that's definitely, man. That's deep right there. That's deep.
There will always be those people. And read what Tanai said.
There will always be domestic thinkers who try to stop your global vision. I like that. I like that too. Definitely, definitely.
You can't
You
let
got
them.
people. Yeah. All right.
You can't let them. You know what? Let me do this real quick. I want to show everybody a video that I hope they check out. I don't know whether or not you had the chance to see this one, but I did one. We did one called American Adjustment and Pain with Sister Tanai, and it was kind of grim. We talked about a lot of things, and I want to share this with everybody so that they can have a chance to look at it as well. Here's the video that we did, and I'm going to put it in the comment section as well for anybody who wants to check it out. We had a really good discussion, and I hope everybody gets a chance to check that out.
American adjustment and pain.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Charles Merriweather said, "My folks told me Brazil is too far to travel and I should stay in the U.S." Let me tell you what my people told me. When I went to college, I got my second university degree at an amazing place called New Mexico State University. Shout out to the Aggies. You know why? Because I got my university degree and walked away with no debt. They said, "Don't drink the water." I said, "What do you mean?" I know people that didn't know New Mexico was a state. So if you want to play this game, we can play this game all day. Read what Raymond Woman told us.
Some people would never leave their surroundings. Some people would never step outside their comfort zones. That is fine for them, but not for those who choose different.
Yep.
Exactly. And especially if your intuition is telling you to leave, if your intuition is telling you to go, I think that should be the sign right there. All other signs are just confirmation to that. So I
And as
definitely
much as you
agree.
know that real family and friends love you, you can't let their fears hold you back. BK from the Rockies, preaching gospel.
BK from the Rockies. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
From Ganwe. How you doing, Ganwe? Ganwe is a buddy of mine. We met in Brazil. He's coming back to Brazil. We're going to be hanging out again soon. Do me a favor. Can you turn the light on? Because I know you had natural sunlight before, but now it's like.
Yeah. Is that better? Yep.
Much better. Tanai said, "I had a relative tell me I was taking my children to live with terrorists because she was moving to the Middle East." Oh, she lived in the UAE for a while, leading this amazing life. She's a great educator. She said, "I was taking my children to live with terror." People who don't even know America is more dangerous than most other parts of the world because we're used to it. Because the terrorists speak our language, we're used to, cops shooting people in the face. Where you go to the UAE, it just doesn't happen, but people don't know that. Shout out to guns, germs, and felonies. I talked about how it's, once the plane leaves the strip, it all becomes surreal.
Yeah. Like, well, I was gonna say, when I went to Melbourne, Australia, you had a lot of people tell me like, "Oh man, flying over the water for 14 hours, 15 hours, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't think you should do it. But I don't know. Like, I just tuned them out, and I said to myself, it's either now or never. I probably won't get this opportunity again or soon. And look what happened. Because I went last year in October, and then just a few months later, the pandemic broke out. So if I would have listened to them, I would have just stayed narrow-minded at home. So
Hey, and if you hadn't had that opportunity, you might not have met me. If you hadn't had just that enough of that point of going out and seeing other places in the world. Look at that, guns, germs, and felonies. Check that one out. Hey, you know what, Charles? What do you say? Hopefully 2021 will be my international travel year. Come and see me in Brazil. Come and see me.
Yes, sir.
So give me another question. What's next on the agenda?
Okay. What type of work can I do while living in Brazil? What type of work? I don't know. It could be like, let's just say if I was living out there for 6 months, what can I do to maintain a income out there?
Okay. Well, let's start with the bottom easiest, and then we'll just go up from there, and I'll tell you some things that I've seen. One is, like I said, if you got a certification to teach English, you could work for somebody like me teaching Brazilian businessmen university level English, right? That's one of the most common questions I get, and it's a great entry level because you can make a middle class income doing that. Okay. Now, matter of fact, hold on. Let me show you a reference video. I'm not sure if here's the reference video for you coming up. It was when she asked, "How do I start an expat career teaching English?" Boom, in Brazil. Now, the other side of that is, I would say, what you could do. What you could do is, again, this is going to dovetail with you going to school. What if you started going to school for technology? What if you went to school for internet business? Remember, you don't have to be rich. You just have to make 300 US bucks a week, and you'll be fine. Now, there's also nothing that says you can't make that money before you leave. Although I never advocate a man not having a job. If you did that and you said, "What? I'm coming there and I've got all the money I need to live for 6 months," we're still going to find something for you to do, because that's how guys destroy their lives anywhere in the world. It could be America or Brazil. A man should always have work for his hands. Now, it might be volunteering. It might be something. And now, look at this. Charles said Rio de Janeiro all the way. You know who I want you to talk to? I want you to talk to Ganwe. Ganwe, Rio has taught him some painful lessons, so he might have some game to share.
Yes, sir.
So we could do that. You could learn. Let me think. What did you do in the military, by the way? I never asked what your job was.
So I was a mechanic, a tank mechanic. So basically diesel engines. Yeah, I worked on my specific job. My job specific was a track mechanic or tank mechanic, but we worked on different vehicles in the military, not just that. So a diesel, I say diesel mechanic.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's one of those. It's one of those situations where you have that as an option. I'm a big advocate of school. If you can get yourself into a situation where you did have your money put away, but you did also have school, I think that's going to be a great situation for you. I think if you could learn a skill online, I don't know if that's something you want to do. That's a great situation. I don't know. I'll have to find out. Do companies have need of folks who do what you do? Diesel. Trucking is big everywhere in the world.
Right, but I was gonna say, even though I did that in the military, I would want to do something else. If I were to go to school, it wouldn't be for, or like being a mechanic or like that type of trade, because I've already got trades under my belt, you know. So I would want to go to school maybe for not really computer science, but I'm trying to. I will have to look at their options. I will have to look at their options. Do get
Now
a
we got brother
certification
Craig
or
Washington who comes on the chat with us sometime. Have you seen any of my videos with him?
no, I haven't. It said get a
He's also a
certification.
military veteran, just like you, right? So that
Okay.
maybe, maybe offline I can connect you to. He does his work online. If there is somebody that you need to talk to about how can I support myself anywhere doing work online, he may be the man to show you how to really find your niche, show you the steps you need to get where you need to be. But there are so many things you can get certified for online that it's ridiculous. It's a matter of narrowing it down. And I think he may be able to be, not to be so bold as to speak completely on his behalf, but I know him as a man well enough to know that if you asked him for a few minutes of his time over the phone, I'm pretty sure out of the goodness of his heart and the kind of man he is, he would give it to you. I can say that much for it.
Okay.
So
Definitely,
write that
Craig.
name
I'm
down,
open.
please.
I got you. Hey, does he mind putting his email in there if that's okay?
That'll be all offline. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. All right.
And I want you to also write down Tanai, write her name down. Write down Reigning Woman as well.
Okay.
All right, what's next on the books?
Got you. Okay. Okay. My question, next question is, where's the best place to relocate in Brazil? Because you got Rio, you got Recife, you got Salvador, you got Sao Paulo. So I know you're in Sao Paulo. So what would be like some good places to relocate to in Brazil?
I would say you should probably study the big three. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, which, to be clear, and Gonway is going to get mad about me, but I don't really advocate Rio for somebody who's going to do something as serious as what you're doing. Salvador is a much slower place, a much slower pace of life, although it's far more beautiful than almost any other place in the country, where you can literally lead a beach life for almost nothing. I look at Salvador as where I want to go when I want to hang up my sword, the little house, dog out on the water. I think you need to be in Sao Paulo. However, I would also like you to talk to Gonway. He will tell you about what it's like in Rio. I'd like it. Write his name down too. Write Gonway's name down too. I would like for you to hear a little bit more, because I'm not here to sell you on fun. I can show you all kinds of fun things to do. I'm here to talk to you about, okay, coming to Brazil, where could you go to be the most functional? I know you could come down to Sao Paulo, Brazil, get a decent apartment with high-speed internet, have plenty of things to do because it's one of the largest cities in the world. I believe it's 9 or 11. Anyway, it's huge.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that'll be a lot of research, and what you could also consider doing is, say you take a year of your life to come to Brazil to figure things out, because I'm not asking you to commit. But what I am going to say is, what happens if you come here and say, I'm going to get my feet wet in Sao Paulo, learn how the game works there, practice my language there, and then spend another 6 months in Salvador? There's no law against that, especially if you're doing things online.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I wanted to talk to you about that, like probably we'll do it a later time. And I know you kind of briefly talked about how your business services, they kind of guide you and direct you to how you basically what you need to do to stay out there, stay out in Brazil. So we'll talk after and discuss a little bit more about that. But my next question, this is more of a personal question. Like, how is the culture like out there to you? Like, how's the culture like? I know American culture is way different than Brazilian culture. So can you expound on that a little bit?
Well, first, Gonway said Rio is debatable. I don't want to infer anything into that. But here's what I've learned of Brazilian culture. If you respect them, and by respect, I mean show them that you're trying to learn the language. Don't start sentences with, well, at home, we do this. They'll accept you. It's an inclusive culture as opposed to, for example, I lived in many years in Asia, Japan, China, Thailand. They're an exclusive culture. No matter how long you live there and how well you speak the language, you'll always be a foreigner. In Brazil, I'll never be a Brazilian man. I wasn't born here, but I can still be treated fairly and equitably.
Right.
Being able to communicate the language, being able to show them that you have a respect for different aspects of their culture, good and bad, just as you would for your own, you can be just fine here. The biggest differences are people are much quote unquote warmer here. That's why when COVID hit, it was really hard because here everybody gets hugged and women all get kisses on the cheek all the time. You see a bunch of your buddies, people are hugging. Everybody's hugging all the time. Your friends' kids, you pick up their kids, hug the kids, kiss the daughter. It's just a very culture.
I was gonna add to that, like especially while learning Portuguese and learning about different Latin cultures, they're more like a romantic culture as well. A lot of stuff in America, especially not our language, isn't romantic like theirs. So they're kind of intimate with the people they know. And when I mean intimate, not just sexual, it's just a form of like you said, being open, being touchy-feely, being social.
Oh yeah, social. They're way more social. People here have a way better connection with their neighbors than they do in America. It's just like because you're seen as a group of people. But check out what Gonway said. Language is priority number one. He hit the nail on the head with that one. Everything goes smoother when you can. I don't say you have to be functionally, fluent, but when you come out, say a few words, order something to eat, have a sit-down conversation about something simple. Doesn't have to be discussing robotics, or something complicated. But when you can sit down, hey, how's your day? My day is doing good. Hey, can I have a cup of coffee? Do you like coffee? Blah, blah, blah. That goes a long way. As far as the romantic language stuff, I will tell you this. I have a few clients who are CEOs and CFOs, and I thought they were learning English for my company because they just loved English. Every single one of them said they think English is the ugliest, dirtiest language in the world. They're only learning it because it makes them money. They said, I'd rather learn French, German, Spanish. For
Italian.
example, we have one word for love.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And they're like, you only have one way to express love in a word, but what about love for your mother, love for your father, love for your brother? Like there's so many different ways to express the same idea. So when people are learning English, it's very hard for them because they have words for emotions that we don't have, yet I haven't seen an emotion that we have that they don't. That's I'll give you an example. This is one of my words. Sadaji. Do you know that word?
So I've seen it before, but what is it? A feeling of longing, melancholy or nostalgia that is supposedly characteristic of the Portuguese or Brazilian temperament. Her songs are based on love poems and evoke melancholy, known as Sadaji. So is it?
Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say Sadaji. Sadaji is So is it how you say it? I don't even know how to express that.
Exactly. Here's the problem. That definition is correct, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
Or hold on, I'm gonna give you another one.
I don't even know how to explain that in English, dude.
Do you know this word, kafune?
Yeah. No, I do not.
It's like It's an affectionate word. Let's see if they got it right here on Urban Dictionary. Hold on, I'm going to look this one up. Kafune does mean running your hair through someone's hair or scalp, but it doesn't. It's not caffeine, but it's kafune, and it's an awkward word because it kind of means touching someone's head, but it doesn't. It's not necessarily sexual. It could be a mother doing it to her child. It could be a girlfriend doing it to her husband, or a husband doing it to. It's one of those words that even after living here, I'm still not quite comfortable using it because yeah, you know.
Right. No, I get you. So how you say, like, they, in their culture, it's many languages for emotions,
Yeah,
basically, or actions that you may do that
right.
we don't have, you know. So you're saying they're able to express themselves. They're able to express themselves in a way we can't express ourselves.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ganwe said there is no English equivalent for Sadajis. You're right. Like once you get into the language, you realize you can't explain it to anybody without sounding like a crazy person.
That's that's real trippy about language. That's the real trippy part. Like like my personality is my personality is I like to understand everything. And when stuff like that happens, especially like learning something new or in a different language that you can't understand, it messes with me, you know?
So let's do this. James Tony said something. Yusef, you come across as a man of integrity. I like that you separate yourself from the mongers who travel exclusively for the women. I'm of mixed emotion about this as I rapidly approach maturity because my feeling is that if you become a man who is successful, then you should have all legal options open to you. I realize not every man is in a situation to want, like, I am fortunate for better or for worse. I like the women in every country I've ever been to. I just do. But there's nothing wrong with someone saying, I want this kind of woman. And one of the benefits of being successful is having that as an option. So I would say, so long as you're not treating women in one country worse than another country or subhuman, and you're not, taking advantage of them, and with the prostitution, because that's what the word monger implies, it's awkward because it's not illegal here, and who is anyone else to decide what is ethical or unethical for someone else if it's not illegal and they're not hurting one in the process? So I go back and forth with that. Like, I like the game. I like walking up to a woman in a language that I don't barely speak well enough just to find out if I can put a few words together and get her phone number. That's me. Some men, that's not for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. And as I rapidly approach maturity, I have to be very careful not to allow what I think should be the way other people should be, because that's me being more American than I ever really want to. Because that's one of the characteristics of Americans, is saying, I don't do it this way and neither should you. You know what, James? We can have a longer conversation about that. We can have a longer conversation about that one day. Yeah, that's
I would like to be a part of that conversation too, because I got a lot of I got a lot of stuff to say about that too.
He said the introduction will trip you up. Yeah, when you like how to say hello, because you are a gringo, clearly, and you got to figure out, it's just like in the United States, right? You've got maybe a 30-second window to make your case as to why this girl should continue talking to you. Now imagine doing that in a language you're still struggling in. Oh, don't say what he just said. Matter of fact, don't talk to Ganwe without me being in on the phone call. Whatever he says to do, you need to check it with me first, because he don't have you out to crazy shit.
Yeah.
Can we continue? Can we go? Can we get a girl to the next question?
All right. Okay. So are there universities out there in Brazil like America's, like as far as like going to school? Um, Probably I wanted you to answer, like, so the universities, how is it like out there?
I don't understand the question because what they normally
Universities?
children, they use a piece of metal and they engrave their lessons on a sharp rock. I'm kidding. They have universities here just like they have any place else in the
No,
world.
no, I know, but like, how would like, is it different than America's? I've been to, let's say, I've been to other countries and their universities don't operate the same as Americans. Some are, some you can't even go on their campus. You know, some require, most of the schools in America are like open and stuff like that. So I just want to know, like,
No, I don't know of a
is
place
this
here where you can just walk onto their school grounds. No, no. You even when I went to the university, talk to some people, somebody has to come and swipe you in.
okay? Yeah, because like I grew up in LA. So I could go like on the USC campus, UCLA campus. It was just like an open campus. Anybody could walk on there, you know. So okay, cool, cool. Uh, the next one, okay. How is their food compared to America? How is the food like out there? I never had Brazilian food.
Really?
Never had Brazilian food. Never.
Woo! You are in for a treat. First of all, for somebody like me who's a big meathead weightlifter, the fact that I can have meat 3 times a day is great. Here's what I'm going to tell you about the Brazilian food, right? When you come to Brazil, you're going to get in better shape, even if you eat the same way. Why? Out here, first of all, I was never a fast food person, but out here, it's just not even part of the culture. Like maybe you'll go have pizza with your friends, but when somebody says, hey, let's go out to eat, you might go to the roasted chicken place where they got these giant roasted chickens on a spit and just say, hey, give me a chicken. They cut up a couple of potatoes with them. You might go to a rodizio where they have these giant pieces of meat of all the different animals. I mean, from lamb to everything else. There's nothing that you will want for food-wise out here. Nothing. I mean, it's a very, and here's the other thing, food is affordable here. I go to the market and I will get for, I don't know, 30 American dollars, more food than I'm going to eat that week. And I mean, this is me. Get a couple of chickens, a couple of giant pieces of whatever fruits and vegetables I want. It really, the eating out here, you will have a better, how would I put it? A better level of choices.
Mm-hmm.
You will have food that's not cranked up with GMOs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have food that's not cranked up with, I mean, it really is a situation where I will buy food. This is something that happened to me in the beginning. I would buy food and wonder, well, wait a minute, this food went bad in 3 days. There's something wrong. And then my friends explain, no, when there's not a bunch of preservatives, that's what happens.
Right, right, right. I I get you because fruit you can leave it on here for a week and it won't go bad.
I mean, it
So
really
I
is.
understand.
It really is. Here's the thing. You got to be careful, too, out here because it's so easy to accidentally just start
Right.
ordering stuff just because you want to order it, not even because you want it.
Hmm. So is it so you know how like they're depending on what part of the country you're in America, usually there are like a lot of street vendors out, right? So is that like that in Brazil? Because you know if you've been to like Thailand or like China,
Yes,
it's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
like meat markets and street vendors.
Hold on. I'm going to show you something. Right now, I'm going to show you a quick, let's see. He said McDonald's popular with the young folks. He said, I'm looking for some vegan option, but there doesn't seem to be. You can get vegan food in Sao Paulo. I have plenty of vegetarian and vegan friends, plenty of restaurants in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's see. This is just one of the Sunday markets I go to. Okay. Oh, can you see that?
It went black, but now, hold on, it's loading now. Yeah, I see it.
You see those? They just yanked them out of the ground.
Those are huge, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are huge.
Like, watch this. You want to know something that'll really trip you up? I was a grown man before I realized that bananas came in more than one variety. When I got here to Brazil, I went to buy some bananas. I'm telling the famous banana story because this is also how I learned how to order things.
Right.
Look at all the different types of bananas. They got some bananas that are good for frying, some that are good for eating after you go to the gym, some that are good for putting in a blender with some milk to have as a shake. Some of them are good for baking in a bread. Some of them are. Literally every sign you see there is a different type of banana. Think about that for a second.
And if you look,
and by the way, that's like per kilo. That's like $1.50 per kilo, which is 2.2 pounds. So I'll just be like, give me a dozen. And I want 6 of these kind, and 2 of those kind, 2 of those kind, 2 of those kind.
Your belly on the way to work.
So food is not even. Yeah. He said, is veganism a thing in Brazil? I would say veganism is a thing if you're looking for vegans. You don't, that's not, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the city I live in, I can take you downtown and there's plenty of vegan options. I have some friends that are vegans and we go out to eat all the time. And when I'm with somebody who's a vegan, I just go to a vegan restaurant. It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Let me see. Let's see what other questions I have for you. Let me see. So about okay, leisure time, and I know you kind of touched on it earlier, but I'm just going down the line. So that's like leisure time, like how you call it? What are some of the things you could do in Brazil? And I know you kind of like touched on this before. Everything, like I remember you telling me over the phone that everything you can do in America, you can do in Brazil. So, I like mini golf. I like go-kart racing. Of course they got movies, but do they have stuff like that out there, like bowling? Just little stuff you could do.
Bowling? No, bowling isn't a thing here. I'm going to tell you what you're going to end up doing a lot of out here. You're going to be in a situation where, how would I put it? It's going to be a lot of social interaction. Let's see. Let me think of a webpage I can give you an example of. I'm looking something up. Because there are a bunch, and I mean a bunch of websites you can go to and sign up for them, and they just email you all the different things that happen in your city or in your area of town. You can be that specific afterwards. Let me find one. I can share it with you.
Make sure
because here's the thing, you're dealing with a city that has countless art galleries. You're dealing with a city that has countless places to go listen to any kind of music that you want. You're looking at a city that has, for free, some of the best cultural and social events in the world. And I say that as somebody who's been around the world. I'm going to give you let's see. Watch this. I'm going to give you all right, I'm going to share this page with you so you can see it. And here we go. Rio over Sao Paulo as far as leisure goes. You know what? Because he's my friend, I'm not even going to put him on blast publicly like that. But we're going to have a conversation. Matter of fact, all of us are going to have a chat online. So check this out. Can you see this?
Yes, subscribe to all these as then you confirm subscription, create a rule. Okay, so it's hold on, let me write those down.
All these different web pages, websites, right? That you can subscribe to. As a matter of fact, hold on, I got a better idea. These are all kinds of different things you can do in Brazil, where what I did is I registered for all of them, right? And then I made a little side folder. So whenever one of them emailed me, it goes into a side folder. So whenever I'm in a situation to say, hey, what's going on Thursday? Oh, well, Thursday at 2 p.m., there's a jazz show. Or Thursday, there's this live concert. Or Thursday, there's an art gallery showing. Thursday, there's a new chef in town. And this new chef is giving out free samples of his food on this day. I'm in. And I mean, it can be anything. It can literally be anything.
Okay,
watch this. Because I love y'all so much. I just made this. Look at that. How good am I? How good am I that I just shared the link to that with everybody? Anybody right now can click that link and look at all the different things that show you what to do in Sao Paulo, Brazil, subscribe to all of them, and just get a feel for what the city offers. How good am I?
Share the wealth, man. Spread the wealth. Yes, sir.
They don't deserve me. They don't deserve me. So
yes,
here's what I do. Ready? I'll tell you what my normal social life is. I'm in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, normally every other day. Maybe it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, maybe it's weightlifting. I'll go down to Rua Augusta, or I'll go down to Avenida Paulista, right, which is these giant streets with everything on it. Meet my friends. We'll go sit down, have coffee, and maybe a little slice of cake. Or we'll go down and order, when you go out with your friends and you order things, a lot of people don't realize the things on the menu are generally, unless it specifically says it's for one person, you order it to share. So we'll order some chicken, some fish fillets, and everybody get a pitcher of juice. And we'll just sit around and talk. Then we might say, hey, there's this tiny little hole-in-the-wall converted club that's having a deep house DJ set. Let's go listen. Or it might be, no, I want to go down to the municipal where it's this giant market and go sample a bunch of fruit. Or maybe you want to go to this museum because this museum has some kind of art that you like. Or maybe, the list is literally endless. Or you know what? What I would do on Saturdays, if I had nothing else to do, I'll just go to Ibirapuera Park, which is the largest park in the world. I take that back. Central Park in New York is bigger, but it doesn't have anything in it, whereas Ibirapuera Park has like 4 museums and 5 concert halls and everything else in between.
So it's just it's a lot of stuff to do out there, basically.
Yes,
it's a lot of things you can get involved. Because I think especially here. I don't know if you have been. I don't know if you've been to Houston or like Texas. I'm sure you have, but in Texas, everything is kind of spread out. You have to have a car in order to get to places. You have to own a vehicle to go downtown or whatever. Whereas in if you live in like New York City, everything is like right next to each other. Everything is so you don't really have to own a car. You could just own a bicycle. And when I do come out there, that's what I'm planning to do. Get like a little bicycle where I don't really have
Good.
to drive. I could just Uber or take a taxi, because it's the way it is set up out here. It's kind of hard to socialize and to how can I put it? I won't say it's hard to socialize. It's more it's not common. It's not like a common thing to socialize out here like it is over there, or in France or Italy, anywhere. It's harder. It's hard to socialize and to find your way around town in America. So
I live 15 minutes away by Uber from Rua Augusta, which is the central street that goes up to Avenida Paulista. So, you can grab yourself a bicycle, and it's a bike-friendly city. They have bike lanes. Get yourself a bike, and you could just get crazy. Me, I'm an Uber person.
right,
I like to do my exercising in the gym.
yeah. Do they got a
And
beach
I'm
out there in
being
Sao
able to
Paulo?
walk down the street and say, "Oh, that store looks like they got some new T-shirts or tank tops."
Right. I was gonna say, do they got a beach out in Sao Paulo? Because I know
No,
Rio got one.
a beach place.
Ooh, okay, okay, cool. Okay, okay. My next question, it would be this is more personal. So, uh, how long have you lived in Brazil, and do you have like a citizenship out there? I'm curious,
I
just
am a
curious.
permanent resident. That means I can legally come and go as I please.
Hmm.
I've lived here 5 years.
Okay. So, is permanent residence citizenship? Is not citizenship, right?
No, for me to be a citizen, I have to take a reading and writing exam and go through some other stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it's a matter of could I do it? Sure. It's just a matter of timing and do I want to do it?
Okay. Um. Okay. So I know we talked about the apartment situation and how much it is to rent an apartment. Now, for me, is it easy to get an apartment? Is it easy to if I'm coming outside, if I'm coming outside of Brazil, would it be easy for me to get an apartment or somewhere to stay out there?
I mean, you understand that's what my company does, right? Like
Okay.
that's what we
No,
do.
well, I'm just no, I know you do that, but I'm saying like it. Let's just say somebody doesn't go through your company. Somebody doesn't go
Yeah,
through
yeah,
what you
absolutely.
do. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you do it though. I
absolutely.
know.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Somebody could definitely do it. If you know how to do it, like here's the thing, if you come down here and know the language and feel like you can navigate the hustle, I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Me personally, I don't know, but I was just inquiring minds. Like, is it easy to get somewhere to stay out there? But okay. Let's see. Transportation. Um, is it kind of like New York City? Is it kind of like Texas? When I say New York City, is it like bumper to bumper traffic? Is it or is it like spaced out? Like how is it traffic wise?
You will definitely want to Uber probably everywhere.
Okay. Okay. Definitely. And then my last one. This is my last question. What are some of the pros and the cons living in Brazil?
Well, let's start with the cons. Learning the language is always going to be fun, but you get to the point where you know that there are complex ideas that you're still not able to express. That can be frustrating. Living in a culture that accepts you but is still not your own, that can be a grind. Although I know earlier, Tanai said one of the things about finding your tribe. I am part of something called Black Expats in Brazil. I run that group. It's on Facebook, and it's something that we get to come together to just be Black people not from Brazil together. And so I'm in Black Expats in Brazil. I run that group, and that helps a lot. Technology has alleviated a lot of the problems that you would ordinarily have. Like, you don't really miss family as much as you think you do when you can call them every day. What's the downside? Nothing is familiar. Everything is done differently. Not better or worse. Everything is done differently. And you will have to learn how to navigate it. You will have to learn that there are good people everywhere and bad people everywhere, and learn the different signs. You will have to be a little less trusting than you would be in the United States, because here, someone says, hey, there's a party, and you realize it's in a place that you don't know, and it's not near the main area, you just don't go. And you might miss out on something fun because I need to stay where I'm comfortable until I'm comfortable not being there.
Okay.
You're going to, and by the way, that's where he said language is number one. You're going to need to grow a thick skin, because there are things that are going to happen to you as an expat that are just not fair. Why do I have to pay extra money because I'm an expat? Why do I have to do this with this paperwork because I'm an American, but my buddy from the Bahamas, he didn't have to do that paperwork. My buddy from Jamaica didn't have to do that paperwork. Well, too bad. You're an American, so now you got to do that paperwork.
Yep. The way the game goes. The way it goes.
And the good parts, man, we've been old parts about all the
yeah, I know.
the things.
Yeah. The way I like structure my questions were just in case like a new person comes on, who may not have any idea what's going on. It could kind of like fill in the gaps, so that's the way I structure my questions, like. But that's all the questions I have right now. Yeah, you answered them all. So.
Well, here's something I want to, and by the way, BK from the Rockies said something. He said, make sure that you check out the Patreon. Have you had a chance to go through some of the things on Patreon?
No, I haven't, but I'm subscribed to the Patreon. I haven't just yet, but after this video,
this is where I put things that are a lot less fun than YouTube. Patreon is where I put a lot of that hardcore. For example, something you're going to need. How do you get your criminal background check done before you come? Small things like that are where, business ideas, where I put different ways that I make money out here, how other people do. That all goes on the Patreon, and I want to be clear. I'm not here to tell anybody that the YouTube won't be here, because quite frankly, YouTube is fun. YouTube is a lot of fun. I'm always going to be on YouTube. But I've also found that not everything on YouTube, not everything that I do is good for YouTube. Some of the things I do are quite boring when I'm talking about the intricacies and details of some of the things that I do. So that's why I have Patreon. Patreon is there because it makes people money. And I'm hoping that everybody gets a chance to go on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look at it probably after this. We get off, like, just go through the Patreon. Like I said, I haven't had time today I did look at some of your other videos though. Yeah, so I'll definitely check out the Patreon. Definitely.
So let me ask you this: even if it's not related to what we were talking about right now, is there anything that you saw in any other videos that just came up for you?
Oh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. The videos that you sent me, like it was one video that I see. It was one video like how the um if the it's one title like if the Portuguese or not the Portuguese if Brazilian women are easy, and you gave the three pillars that you live by, and I thought that was very interesting because even in like the groups I'm in on Facebook, every time like, and I don't just travel because I want to get this like straight. I don't just travel because like the women. I do it for the culture. I do it for meeting people as well. You know, it's not just about them. It's about like every aspect of it. You know, and I found it very interesting that just working out. What did you say? Doing something with your hands and reading like a book a month, to expand your knowledge on when you're talking. And I find that interesting because it's kind of like that out here in America. You have to have like some type of a base of like social structure, like being social with somebody. Um, yeah, that one. Yeah. Um, you have to have that social structure even if you're outside of America too. So I don't get this concept of people think, oh, is this place more easier than this? Is we're like it I don't know. I think it's I find it interesting, you know.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm glad you found that interesting, and I want to. A lot of the things that I'm going to ask of you are going to be, oh, hold on a second. We got a shout out to the guest. I'm sure many have had questions, but not the opportunity. He seems to have his head in the right direction. Yeah, he does, Greg. He does.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Greg. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to stop you from doing something that a lot of people will trick you into doing. When you say, I want to be clear about why I'm going there, one of the things you have to learn how to do, and this is going to be hard because this is going to go against what everybody else in the world wants from you. Stop justifying yourself. Mm-hmm. Decide, I want to do this, so I'm going to do this. Because if you ask the basic, is it legal? Is it ethical? I'm going to do it. So when people try to, as you grow into your manhood, and I'm like the old uncle now stage of my life, you will be shamed for all of your success, financial, physical, women. Anything that you want that makes you better and gives you more, most people will shame you for it, not out of anger. It'll be out of resentment. Because when you show them that I have the willingness to say, I think I'm going to go to Brazil. Why do you want to go to Brazil? Because I want to. I mean, well, tell me why. I could explain it to you, but I'm not, because fuck you. That's why. You carry yourself different, and this is something you'll find challenging, but that's what I want you to. I want you to say when somebody says why, and you detect any attitude. Now, of course, you're gonna have friends say, "Oh, why are you going to Brazil?" "Oh, I'm going to Brazil for blah blah blah." Anybody that has any kind of attitude about it, any kind of attitude, say, "I decided that's what I want to do," and then you just let it go. Well, I heard men only go to Brazil for this. I'm going because I want to. I mean, I'm not an average man. You'll cut out a lot of people in your life that you find out are comfortable with you as long as you're not getting better. As long as you're not escrow that finished his career in the military and then used it to get a better education and learn a second language. You can't be escrow who says, I traveled a little bit. I think I'm going to go live in another country. Oh, that escrow? No. You're supposed to be, what do we say? All right. I'm myself 15 months, and I really hope to out.
Yeah, man.
Hey, listen, man. Talk to me. Email me, YusefWateef@gmail.com. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
But
I like that too.
Explaining yourself. I want you to get out of the habit of believing that you have to justify what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never get off the boat that way. There's always going to be somebody who can convince you that what you want is not okay because it's just not normal. Again, is it legal?
Right.
Yeah. Is it ethical? Am I cheating anybody? No, I'm not cheating anybody. I think I'm going to go do this. Freedom ain't free, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to live that life, you're going to be about that life, you don't get to buy happiness. You get to rent it. And the rent is due every day. Every day, happiness demands that they knock on the door and say, hey, you want to be happy? Great. People who love you are going to be angry at you. All right, gotta pay for that today. Oh, thank you. Oh, man, I got this girl and I really like her, but she doesn't want to travel. And she said, can I just, if I was a decent man, I would marry her. Oh, well, yes, that's the rent you got to pay. You got to say, all right, well, it's not going to be okay. But escrow, we're still here struggling. You should be here with us. They're going to be mad at me because, listen, I tell people all the time, one of the ways I stay so pretty is because I don't have worry lines in my face. YusefWateef decided, I'm not built for the struggle. You want to stay in the country? Because here's what I tell people about, look at what Brother Craig said. Lone wolf traveling gets rid of all that nonsense.
Right on.
Hey, you'll find that when I tell people I'm not built for the struggle, like, well, that's not right. You should. Well, what do you think? This is. I give two examples. One, getting out of America. First of all, getting out of America is smart. If you are Native American, Indian, or Black, you owe America nothing. Nothing. Okay. Am I jaded? Yes. Thank you, Brother James. Two, maybe three. You'll find out when you start hitting those deep 30s and early 40s whether or not you made the right decision at 25, because no one's coming to save you. It's not like in the movies where, I just work hard and I'm average, and then right around 40, the music starts playing and I get this awesome thing that happened. No, it doesn't work that way. At 40, most of my friends woke up and realized they wish they'd had the courage or craziness to do what you're about to do or what I did. Say, I'm just going to go out and do some different things. I'm going to go live life on my terms.
I was gonna say, what did Muhammad Ali say? He said, he didn't like training. Like he said, I forgot what he said. He said something about he didn't like to train every day, but he liked to. He said, train hard so I could live the rest of my life as a champion. Train hard now so I can live the rest of my life as a champion. That's what he said.
Yeah, so, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even if the quote isn't perfect, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think I misquoted it, but yeah. He said something along those terms, and basically, if it's uncomfortable now, like the whole getting out the country, it's so, it sounds so foreign to people, but I'd rather do it now and get it out the way. So when I get to be that age, everything is set, everything is comfortable.
Well, here's the thing. I tell people this all the time, and I tell this especially to Black people. America didn't turn on you. America was never on your team. America never betrayed you. When did they betray you? When was it good to you? Last year, the year before that? What about when your parents were kids? How about your grandparents? America did not just wake up yesterday, and as much as people want, it's Donald Trump. No, it's not. No, it's not. America was never on your team if you are Black, ever. Why would you think now is different? Like, oh my goodness, America has betrayed me. Betrayed what? It's not like you had a cousin that would always come over, take you out. If you don't have any gas in your car, he'll put the gas in, y'all can go hang out. He'll tell you, oh, you don't want to mess with that girl. I got this other girl for you. And then one day he just robs your house. That's not what happened. It's like you had a cousin who was robbing and stealing and on drugs your whole life. And then you get mad when he comes to your house and robs you instead of saying he can't come in. That's America. America has been beating and robbing your whole life. They didn't just suddenly start. People act like they just suddenly started killing Black men last year. Really? Really? My grandmother told me story. I'm preaching. My grandmother would tell me stories about what it was like seeing my relatives hanging from trees. When did America turn on me? Get out. Get out. Run.
Right. Right. I agree. Great analogy, brother. Yeah. Charlotte get it. Yep. Yep. Yep.
You know that.
I definitely agree, man. And I think now that I'm in a position to do something like this, um, it's now or never. My uncle told me you can work hard now and play later, or you can play now and work hard later. So, yeah, true, true. Work hard now, you know. And it's so like I got peers like my age, around my age. You know, they basically in the same spot that they were a couple years ago. You know, and it's me. I have a different type of thinking. You know, I always want to excel, always wanted to want to do more, and just I don't know. It living here, it just makes me see stuff through a different lens. And when I talk to people from different countries, it's like I don't know. It's like I belong over there, or you know, it's just so much more. It's just so much more freedom, much more stuff you can do than just being out here. Um, Especially what's going on now. Like you said, it's been going on, but the best thing to do is for me to do is just take the next train smoking, the next plane leaving. So I definitely agree. It's like the age of 30. It's not new, 22, same number. It's always been, yes. Yeah, US is the same way. Yep.
What else you got for me?
Uh, I'm done with all the questions. I wrote the names down that the people that I should contact and subscribe to their channel and like keep in touch with them. So that's basically what I have for you. That's it for me. I don't know if you wanted to say anything else. I know you're the host and everything, but like I'm
Here's
good.
what I would say. I want this to be the beginning. I want this to be we start the conversation of what are you doing, because we got to have timetables, right? One of the things that I want you to look at is, one, write down a few things that you would consider going to school for. Two, what level are you at with your Pimps of Portuguese?
I'm still on level the first level, but I'm on a lesson two. Like I started all over again, so I'm on lesson
Okay.
two right now, and I did both. I did like the little strategy you said: do one in the morning, do one at night. So before I go to sleep, I'm gonna hop on Pizzler. So I'm next tomorrow was gonna be lesson three, but I'm on lesson two today.
Can you say you'll do a lesson every day?
Yeah. I do a lesson every day. Yeah, I do a lesson every day. Yeah.
Okay, because that language part, man.
That's number one.
Cannot
And
stress.
I'm doing Asamil on the side. So Asamil is kind of helping me as well. But definitely just Pimsler, just listening to the conversations, listening to the different like the way they talk the dialects.
Yeah,
Um it's catching, it's catching on. And just because you're essentially repeating the same thing over and over, and it becomes so automatic, it's subconscious. So it's like the first lesson it talks about like in Thangi and intendo. So
mm.
just repeating those words over and over again, you know the difference, but both of them mean understand, but it just the way you use it. So Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. I won't be fluent overnight.
Right.
I won't be fluent overnight, but it's definitely a process. And within the next maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I should be able to, talk, fluently.
What I want you to do when we come back, maybe we can have some fun. Bring some of my Brazilian friends on the chat with us. All right.
Yes, for sure, man.
Thank you. First, let me say thank you to the people watching, because you had a couple people reach out to you that we're going to make that connection work. You're going to be getting some messages. 2, thank you for coming in and taking responsibility for your life at this age, because at 25, you could be doing anything, but you're not. You're planning out that next, because 5 years from now with a university degree, a second language under your belt, sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
uh,
Thank you for taking the time out to, have that input, that voice, because I think a lot of young people, especially young Black men, need that voice to go. For those that want to check out Pimster, here's the list lessons for different languages.
I'm gonna give. I think I gave you access to my account, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You did.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'll say the last 2 things I'll say. Normally, this is the part where people say goes without saying, but if it went without saying, you wouldn't need to say it. And I know these are things you already thought about, but I want this to be in the front of your mind, because this is not just now, but this is now and forever. This is something I want you to keep in mind for the rest of your life. Stay away from drugs and always wear condoms. Those 2 things I have seen derail men better than me and you, smarter than me and you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Note taken. I fully understand.
All right.
Got you.
So we're going to click
All
end
right,
broadcast and say goodbye to everybody else. You and I are going to be backstage.
All right.